and welcome to our Facebook Live crafting this evening. It is Thursday the 6th of October and hi and welcome to you. Sincere apologies for being a couple of minutes late. I was really doing one of those jobs that I hate doing but was always lovely when it's done, and that is clearing my emails. And I have obviously a few email accounts. One's a business account, one's a personal account, and I tend to skip through the personal account because I have a lot of mailings from things that I've subscribed to, etc, etc, and I usually look at them on my phone, and I realised I had far too many unread emails on that account. So I was sitting there going through, and what I like to do, I don't know if you do the same, is I order it in alphabetical order, for example by sender, and then I group a whole set together from one sender, delete those, having unsubscribed from them beforehand. So I was so carried away with doing this, I suddenly realised it was 7 o'clock. So apologies for that, but I am here now. You have my full attention, and let's get cracking with some crafting. So we've been using the Simply Fabulous stamp set so far this week, and you'll see me create these cards here. We did this one Monday, these two on Tuesday. I only showed you the white on blue, and I did the blue on white subsequent to that. And then yesterday, excuse my arm, I did this one, stamping in the round using our Stamparatus to get that effect. So let us do something different this evening, still using the same stamps. I'm going to change the colours as well. Actually, I've done lots of pinks, so maybe I'll do some yellows and oranges, and I'm doing a card based on a card I saw by another demonstrator. Her name is Helzie Slimm, and I just thought it was a really good effect. It's not a new idea. This idea has been around a while, but I just really liked the way that she created it. So let me get myself organised and find a piece of paper to put underneath. Okay, that will do perfectly because I may stamp off the edge. So what I'm going to do is stamp a sentiment in the middle, cover that up, and then stamp the flowers going round the edge. So let me grab the blocks and the stamps. I don't know why I've got this shadow here. I'm sure it's definitely a shadow, isn't it? Very strange. Okay, let me just turn the light off there. That's it, that's got rid of it. Okay, so I hope you've had a good day. I've had a busy but productive day today. Okay, and I want a larger one for my sentiments. Hi Fran, I hope you're well. Here we go. So there is the stamp set. Mat to stamp on, which I'm going to put underneath here. So I'm going to stamp my sentiment in the middle and then work around it, cover it up and work around it. And yes, I've done pinks, reds, blues. So let's do some oranges or yellows. Okay, so I'm going to start with the large stamp. If I can find it, there it is. And I'm going to use some of the other ones as well that you haven't seen me use. I have used it on some other cards that I made in the meantime, but I haven't used it live. So let's just see what this looks like to start with. So this is that Just Saying Hello, and I just want to try it out down here. See what that looks like. Yes. So this is Mango Melody. Can't believe it's Friday tomorrow. Goodness me. Just going far too fast. Right, so Just Saying Hello. It's going in the middle. And then I'm going to use a variety of yellows and greens. So I've got Granny Apple Green for some of the leaves. I've got Calypso Coral. And I could do with a Daffodil Delight or something similar. I've got a bit of Garden Green as well. So what I'm going to do is grab, if I can find it, and if I can't I'll have to use a post-it note. I think I have some in here, and that is some of our, yes, there it is, some of our masking paper. So it's a thin all over sticky on the back paper that you can use for masking. So what I'm going to do, because I want it to be fairly close, is I'm just going to re-stamp this down here. I haven't re-inked it. Hi Brenda, hi Annabelle, and hello to Scylla. I hope everybody is keeping well. So what I'm going to do is take my glasses off so I can see what I'm doing to start with. Just going to do a close cut around here, like so. So that I can cover up my sentiment. What I might do is even cut that, so that I can add flowers and things around it. Okay, so trickiest bit is just splitting the front from the back. There we go. And because this is sticky, what I'm going to do is just pop it on my mat a few times, because I don't want it so sticky that it sticks and lifts up the paper. So if you can, pop it down on something or your clothes, and then I can just cover this up like so. Okay, so now I'm going to add my detail around it, and I'm going to do a combination, and I'm going to use some of the images that you haven't seen me use before. So I'm going to use this one with the little flowers that go with it to start with. So I've got Granny Apple Green, like so. And I'm just applying a little bit more pressure where the paper is. Let's have one coming down there, and just one going up here, like so. Little mark of ink on there, but I think I'll be okay. Right, now I'm going to add the little flowers onto that, and that is the one that has 3 little flowers that look a little bit like hearts, these ones here. And I'm going to do these in that Mango Melody. So sorry, I'm just inking that probably outside of your view. And just going to pop these on here. So there's 1. And 2. Like so. And 3. And these are quite easy to line up because you can position the flower heads over the little ends of the stalks. Okay, let's add that little flower because that's so cute as well. And let's add okay, so I'm going to keep that one. I'm going to do this flower next. And let's try Calypso. So I hope you've all had a good day. I think I probably just said that. Okay. Yeah, that will do. I love this little flower. This is really cute as well. So I'm going to add one in there. That noise you can hear is Cassie looking for anything to eat in my little bag. Like so. So I've got 3. And then what I'm going to do is use this little middle piece, and I'm going, or I might use a yellow, stamp it off and put it in the middle. I might use yellow. Let's see. I've got Saffron. See what that looks like inside. So it was a really mixed day of weather today here for us in the UK. Oh, I'm going to use that one. It was lovely first thing, blue sky and everything, and then it was really dull. We had a bit of rain, and then it's been lovely again. Very odd. Okay, so this is just like a little infill. Like so. Just going to lift that up so you can see it, hopefully. There we go. And you can position this either slightly overlapping. Just going to use that to fill that gap in there. Okay, that will do for the minute. I can add something back in shortly. Let's add a little bit more detail. Hi, Monica. Yes, let's do that. I'm going to do this, I think, in Garden Green. Let's just put a couple in. Like so. So just make sure it's nicely inked up. So I'm just going to cover up that tiny little sneaky ink mark that I got there somehow. Okay, so I'm working my way around, and hopefully I'll be able to peel this off so that you can see just the sentiment underneath. I'm going to try that little bit so that you can see what we're going to end up with, like so. Okay, so, and I'm using our special masking paper to do this. You can use a post-it note, there's no trouble with that, just watch the thickness of it. Right, I think swap that one out and have let's add in some more flowers, I think, next. This is my favourite flower, this one. And I'm going to do this, I think, in yellow. So this is So Saffron. I've no idea what I've done with my Daffodil Delight ink pad. Maybe I haven't emptied it from something. Okay. So just finding some space for this. And I'm not worrying that they haven't got stalks attaching them. I'm just going for the overall look, if you like. So I've got 3 of those, 3 of those, 3 of those. I've got 2 of those. So let's add this nice little leaf in garden green. Just to balance this out a little bit. Okay. So the colours I've used are Granny Apple Green and Garden Green, Mango Melody, Calypso Coral and So Saffron. I want another one up here somewhere. And maybe, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to switch that out because we have a set of 2 leaves and a single small leaf. Swap that one out. That went flying, didn't it? Saved it. Okay. So this one I can put in almost anywhere. So I'm attaching it to this pretty sort of open daisy flower. Okay, so I've got a few gaps in here. So I've got this tiny little flower that I can add in. around there. Got a hair on it, I can see that. So it's a bit like a sort of small, almost like a small one cheek wonder, but you're concentrating, concentrating on the middle section rather than anywhere else. Okay, I think that will do the job. Maybe I'm going to put a leaf in there just to finish that one off. Finish that little gap. And I'm never quite sure which way these leaves need to go, but I don't think it really matters. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is have a look and see what that looks like. There we go. So you just want to peel that gently. So there's the finished effect. If I just bring that up to the screen, just think that's really pretty, and in fact it's almost quite autumnal with those colours. And what I might do is pop this back for a sec and add just a little bit of ink around the edge. So I'm going to take this off and out of the way for the minute. And I usually have enough colour left on my blends brushes not to have to add any more. So just going to add the smallest amount around the edge. Hi Trudy, I hope you're well and you've had a reasonable day. This is just a bit of Saffron. And this is just going to make that definition between the sentiment and the flowers. Let's have a look at that. It's always best to have a look and check, because you can always add a little bit more. So can you see that's just defined that a little bit more? So I'm going to add a bit more again. Now I didn't cut that very straight, so what I'm going to do is add some and then just add a little bit on that edge where it's not straight. There we go. And what I could do is add these little dots. I don't know if you can see these that I use from Forever Fern. I might just add a few of those in as well in the orange. My favourite colour is yellow. Yellows and oranges, I should say. Let's have a look. There we go. So can you see that just defines that a little bit more? I don't know if you can tell from there really. I can tell. So let's just add just a little bit more. And it's quite easy to line up because you can see obviously where your stamps went. So just going to add that. Maybe. So this stamp set will be is our stamp set of the week, and will be featuring at Coffee and Card tomorrow and Monday. There we go. There we are. And I think I am going to grab that little dotty stamp from Forever Fern, just to finish it off. So it's just got very fine dots. That's all I want. Let's pop that on that little block. And just a light touch. I don't want it to overtake what I've got stamped, and just stamp it off a few times and then you'll get a lighter version as well. There we go. Okay, I'll just bring that up to the screen. I'm hoping you can see that. It's really crisp. It's such a nice crisp design. Okay, so let us cover that ink pad before I drop anything on it and find a background layer. And I'm thinking either, actually Calypso Coral would be quite nice if I've got one, and if I haven't got one I will cut one. So these are layers. No, not a Calypso Coral in sight. I may have a garden green though. No, I've got Evening Evergreen. So that looks quite nice. Take it a little bit darker. And I've got a white card for that to go on to. Let's just see what Calypso Coral looks like. So grab my card. So I've got, this is option 1. You can see that, which I think I'm favouring. And then this as option 2. I think they both work. Oh, bless you, Louise. It's such a pretty set. I bought it when it was in the sale, when we had the 15% off. So I can't quite decide actually. I like both. I do like the green. I always think when you go darker that makes it really pop. So maybe I will stick with that. Balance it out a little bit because there is quite a lot of yellow going on and orange going on. And then I'll put this together and add a little bit of bling as well. Okay, so let's put that stamp set out of the way, add some glue, and we're done. I hope the ladies at Coffee and Card like the set. I think it's so versatile, and I do like nice crisp images as well. And you don't have to colour it in. So if you're not a fan of colouring in, this is a perfect set for you if you like flowers, of course. Okay, this is going to go onto my white card that I've already scored. So this is just our thin basic white. No, that's our thick basic white. This is our standard basic white for stamping on. Pop this layer on the back, and then I'm going to add a few gems on the larger flowers, and then probably a few gems dotted around. Okay, make sure I've got that the right way round. It almost reminds me of something you should have on a breakfast cereal. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the colours. I don't know. Right, let's pop some bling on and we're done. So short and sweet for our evening session. I'd love to know which ones you like the best. Feel free to comment and let me know. Let's see what we've got that would go with these. So not that, not those. Got some of those, which would be nice for a change, rather than using the gems that I've used all week and all the others. And I've got some iridescent ones here. Excuse me. So, let's see. Oops. I think I can get away with large yellow ones. So these come in 3 sizes and 4 colours. 2 and 3, like so. Oh, I hope you can see that all right. Something's reflecting, that's what it is. And I could just use 3 little ones dotted around. 1, 2, and hi Jeanette. Where am I going to put this one? 3. No, it's a bit close to that one. Oh no, that looks like I'll try to do a circle. Let's see if I can lift that out. If I can't, it's staying there. No, I've got it. I think. Oh, I've got 5. That's fine. I don't need 6. Oh, bless you, Louise. Yeah, do give it a go. It's very simple. As I say, the idea came from Helzie Slimm, if you know Helzie from the UK. So stamp your sentiment, cover it up with a post-it note, or I used our masking paper. And I deliberately cut this out, but you could have made it a perfect rectangle. And then I stamped the larger items first, working down to the smaller ones, because then you've got more space to filter things through. And that's it. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you've enjoyed our sessions this week, and I look forward to catching up with you really soon. Take care. Bye for now.